This is the Ghost Golf Anyday Maverick golf bag. It is a high-end luxury golf bag that costs $415. The best word I can use to describe this bag is maximalist. It has got pretty much everything. It is a maximalist in every way. Max features, max weight, max versatility, and max logos. What do I mean by that? Well, keep watching. We're gonna go over all of the pros and cons. I'm gonna tell you what I like about this, what I don't, and help you figure out if it's worth spending your hard-earned money on this golf bag. If that sounds good, let's get right into the review. Real quick, as you might expect, if you click on our link below and you buy a Ghost Golf bag, I will get a commission. Totally no big deal either way. If you're not into that, just go to ghostgolf.com, type it into your browser, bypass the code, and that's totally fine. My whole goal here is to help you find the right products for you. To that end, if you're not sure if this bag is right for you or something else, then go take our 20-second quiz. You're gonna tell me exactly what you're looking for, and I'm then going to give you my best recommendation on which bag I think is right for you. There's a link to that below. You can even go click it now and do it while you're watching the rest of this review. Speaking of which, let's stop wasting time and get into the review. Okay, so this is actually the first time I've ever used or seen a Ghost Golf bag in person, and it's one that honestly I was really excited to check out because I've been a huge fan of vessel bags for a number of years, and honestly, on the surface, this looks exactly like the Vessel Player 4 Pro. It has a similar synthetic leather, it comes in the same color as my Vessel bag, it's got the velvet lining on both the straps and the club dividers, it's got carbon fiber legs. There are so many similarities to the Vessel Player 4 and this bag. But they are actually very different bags, and as soon as I took this out of the box, that's when I started to realize that, yeah, it's kind of a different bag for a different person who has different needs. So what is the Ghost Golf Anyday bag? So the thing about Ghost Golf is they say all of their bags are limited edition drops. So they're not numbered limited edition, so I have no idea if they made 500 of these or 5,000 or 50,000 of them. But they say you basically want to get them while you can, and there is no discounts on them because of that. So there's no coupon codes, theoretically. You're not going to see sales very often. Essentially, the limited edition is they've got somewhere between 4 and 6 different colorways of the Anyday bag. So as far as I can tell, it's just a cool way to brand your products. Whereas other brands, they're just going to be like, hey, here's black, here's gray, here's red. With Ghost, it's like, here's the Maverick, here's the Katana. Even though it's just different colorways, it's a cool way to make it feel like you're getting something really special. And honestly, it works. I like that. So my point in saying all that is if you were looking at one of the other Anyday bags, it's still going to be the same as this one, the Maverick. It's just going to look a little bit different. They also have another line of bags called the Weekender bags, which are a little bit smaller than this, but as of right now, they also have the same branding. So you can get the Maverick Anyday or you can get the Maverick Weekender depending on what you're looking for. First impressions out of the box, as I picked it up and took it out, I realized one thing very quickly. This is a heavy golf bag. The way they describe it on their website is it is a lightweight bag that comes in at just 6.5 pounds. But let's be honest, 6.5 pounds, that's a pretty heavy bag for a bag that is meant to be carried. It's also unclear if that's the weight with or without the straps, but based on feeling it, my guess is that's the weight without the straps, so I would guess this probably tips the scales somewhere in the 7 to 8 pound range. Now, for a lot of people, that's not going to be that big of a deal, especially if you are not someone who carries your bag. But after reviewing a number of lighter weight golf bags lately, specifically the Jones Rover, the Vessel Player Air, and the Stitch Airwalker, going from a bag that weighs less than 5 pounds to one that weighs 6 or 7, it made a bigger difference than I expected it to. We'll talk about that weight and who this is best for in a little bit, but the good news is once you take the bag out, you also realize why it weighs so much. The materials on this are excellent. Like I said, you've got the velvet lined club divider, you've got the velvet lined straps. This was a staple on the Vessel Player 3. They then didn't carry that over to the Player 4. In order to get that feature now, you have to get the Vessel Player 4 Pro, which comes in at, I believe, $435, which is 20 bucks more than this bag. It's a very nice touch that makes the bag feel more expensive. One thing that's a big departure from this bag over the Vessel bags is it doesn't have a big garment pouch on the side. Rather, it's got 2 pretty large pockets on either side on the bottom of the bag. Now, I've had no problem fitting layers in here, full set of rain gear. If you have to carry a jacket and pants using both of these, you can definitely fill it up, no problem. I do miss having that one larger space that you can just kind of cram stuff in if you need to, but these pockets have plenty of storage, and honestly, the bag as a whole, plenty of storage. Like I said, maximalist golf bags. So you have 2 valuable pouches. So one right here on top, you got another one over on the other side on top. You have a super convenient rangefinder pouch. I love these. I will say one thing that I didn't realize was a thing until I reviewed this bag is some of the Vessel bags, they have loops here, so you just kind of like clip your finger and grab it easily. This has a pull tab, which is better than nothing, but I do like the loop. The loop does make it easier to grab, and while this is certainly easy to open up, it's very convenient, I like the other design just a little bit better in terms of usability. There's two cooler-lined water bottle holders on the bottom here, and a big pouch here for golf balls and whatever you could want to put in here. So this bag is definitely one that you can cram a lot of stuff into, but considering it's already a heavy bag as it is, if you take advantage of all of these things and you plan to carry your clubs, well, your back's gonna be feeling it by the end of the round. Keeping that in mind, I will say the strap system is excellent. The straps are super comfy. So when you put the bag on, generally speaking, it's very comfortable to carry, but because it is a heavy bag, it does tend to wear on you after the round goes on. So I would not buy this bag if you are looking for an everyday carry. If you're looking for a bag to carry day in and day out, this is probably not the right one for you. But if you're someone who carries sometimes, and you push sometimes, you use a golf cart sometimes, and you want something that can perform equally as well at all of those things, this is definitely a good bag to consider. Is it as good on a cart as a dedicated cart bag? No, unfortunately, because it doesn't have a dedicated pass-through for the cart strap, it's not as good as those bags, although in terms of size, weight, stature, you put it on a golf cart, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's really solid on carts. I think my preferred way to use this bag is on a push cart. Again, because of that stability, because of that size, it's not going anywhere. And because there's all this added storage, it's very easy to get everything you want. And you don't really notice the weight as much when you're pushing as opposed to when it's on your back. So one other feature I also really love, this comes in your choice of a 7-way divider or a 14-way divider. Now, I'm not necessarily always a fan of 14-way dividers, especially a bag that's already pretty heavy. That 14-way divider is probably going to add an extra half a pound of weight, but a lot of similar bags only come with 6-way dividers. And so this comes with a 7-way divider that has a dedicated putting well for your putter. So it makes organization that much easier, and it's a feature that I actually really like having. So this bag, it looks cool. There's tons of features. Yes, it's a little heavy, but there's one other big complaint I have about it that I honestly wasn't expecting, and it may not be an issue at all to you. In fact, it may be a positive, or it may also be a deal breaker. And that is, let's just say they went a little overboard with the Ghost branding. At my count, there's somewhere between 15 and 16 Ghost logos on the outside of this bag. Now, that's a lot of Ghost logos. To the point where I was self-conscious carrying this bag around the club during my rounds where I played with it, where I felt like I was a walking billboard for Ghost. And the fact you've got the pull tab that looks like an ejection seat, Maverick, red tab, ejection, pull, you get it. Cool branding. Some people are going to love that. Me, I feel like it just kind of called attention to the bag and then the logos, and I just, like I said, felt a little self-conscious that there was so many of them. My point being, I think this bag would have been much better if they just used a little bit of restraint in terms of the logo placement. I think 4, 5, that's all you need. It's a really cool bag, and you should let the product speak for itself, not the brand. Now, I know there's probably some people out there that love the Ghost Golf brand and they want that everywhere, but for me, I'm pretty brand agnostic. I could care less about the brand. I just want products that look cool and perform the way I want them to. I'm more of a fan of minimalist branding with everything, and some people are not. If that's not you, then you can ignore this critique. But if you're someone who is aware of that and you don't like having a brand's logo and their name plastered everywhere, this is a bag that probably isn't going to be the best fit for you. So all that to say, should you buy the Ghost Golf Anyday bag? The answer? Maybe. Depending on what you're looking for. I feel like Ghost Golf is actually hitting a pretty good market. They're hitting the high-end bag for a younger generation. So you've got the Titleist Linksmaster, very high-end bag, generally going towards an older clientele. You've got Vessel, which I feel like is hitting that 30s and 40s. It's got a cool modern aesthetic. It's a newer upstart company, but they're still appealing to people that are a little bit older. In some ways, I feel like they're doing something similar to Sunday Golf. So Sunday Golf does less expensive golf bags. They're all about fun, casual rounds, and again, appealing to the younger golfers. So I feel like Sunday and Ghost are kind of going for the same demographic. Sunday's just going from the lower to mid-range, whereas Ghost is going for mid-range to high range. So who is this golf bag for? If you love the branding of Ghost Golf and you want a high quality bag that looks cool and has all of the features, this is definitely one to take a look at. If that sounds like you and you primarily ride in a cart or use a push cart, this is a bag you should consider. But if you are someone who likes to carry your clubs day in and day out, I personally would probably avoid this. If you are someone who doesn't like being a walking billboard for a brand and you don't like seeing logos plastered everywhere, I would probably avoid this. For me, I can go use the Vessel Player 4 Pro, which has pretty much all the features of this, weighs about the same amount, a little bit less, but it also doesn't have the branding everywhere. So I like the look of that bag a little bit better. And the functionality is similar, but I do prefer the fact they have the big garment pocket. And that's what I'm gonna use primarily when I'm using a push cart or a regular cart. If I'm carrying it all the time, I'm probably gonna go with the Jones Rover just because it looks cool, carries well, and is one of my favorite bags I reviewed recently. So does that mean this bag is not right for you? Absolutely not. If you're okay with those two major critiques, this is still an excellent bag that a lot of people are going to love, but if those two things are deal breakers, then I would maybe look elsewhere. With that, my name is Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Breaking 80, where we talk about cool golf products and cool golf courses. If you got some value out of this, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment, do all of the things. It all helps me out. And if at the end of this, if you're still not sure if this is the right bag for you and you're trying to figure out which bag is, go take that quiz. I think you're going to find it super valuable. And with that, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.